Hello there, welcome everyone. It's great to see so many faces, old and new. Thank you for coming to 7 Keys to Inner Power webinar. And I'm your host, JH Tapley. And by the way, I'm a visual storyteller, so you're in for a treat. Let's go. So what we're going to cover today are 7 keys to inner power. In other words, the Mindgate blueprint, the inner power network within your own body and your own mind that allows you not just function to your full potential, but transform yourself internally and transform your life. So I'm really happy for you to be here because even just this webinar is going to explain so much to you. This is what we are going to cover today, the 7 gates of the mind and how they are connected to your life purpose. And also one most important step without which no self-development effort can succeed, and how to repel negative influence and stop being affected by other people's emotions. This is really important for any warrior in spirit, and if you want to make a change, a difference in the world, you obviously want to be able to stand your ground and not be swayed by someone else's expectations. And also how to develop a powerful magnetic presence and how to get unstuck and start pursuing the life of your dreams. Are you excited? Because I am. So this webinar, I know you're here for the right reasons, and I'm pretty sure you know when you signed up what it's going to be about, but let's just double check so you know for sure you are in the right place. So this webinar is for you if you're committed and passionate about becoming a greater version of yourself, because self-development takes work. And so you must be an achiever type to succeed and to make it happen. And you also feel that you have more to offer and you're looking for a way to unlock your full potential. And you want to be able to stand your ground, as I mentioned before, without being swayed by other people's emotions and expectations, and be able to share your gift with the world and to speak your truth. And also you want to live a more inspired and meaningful life and make a difference. So if you resonate with this, guys, you are in the right place today. So let's see. Just a few words about me so you know who you're talking to. For people who don't know me, some of you obviously do, but I'm a spiritual teacher, an international speaker, and an author of many books on self-development. And I've been doing this work around the world for nearly 20 years now. So I've been teaching people to restructure their mind, to find their life purpose, and to really become a force for change in the world, to transform themselves on all levels. And yes, I lived in Japan. It's, as I mentioned before, that was a great adventure in itself. I mean, I could talk for hours about the strange and wonderful stories that I had in my life and how I met the Emperor of Japan, you know, the ex-emperor now, and appeared in many films. Actually, I've been on TV many, many times, and this is me talking. Some of you guys will recognize these photos and yourself in there. So good memories, good memories. This is me at work, which I absolutely love. So I'm not going to keep talking for ages about it, but there is one thing that you might be interested to know about. I'm doing some charity work that is quite unusual. Who wants to know what I do? Type me some yes in the comments. Let's see. Yes, 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 yes. Yes? Yes, with exclamation marks. Okay, we have some yeses coming in. So I run a London-based charity club teaching lightsaber combat and choreography. This is something I'm quite passionate about because I can see how much difference and how much joy it brings to people's lives. Me and my co-trainer recently did an event in Peterborough teaching kids with learning disabilities for charity. And mind you, maybe they had some learning disabilities in some other ways, but they were incredibly talented with lightsabers. And we've been on a Jeremy Vine show. It's a UK show on Channel 5. Here are we with Jeremy Vine himself. So let's talk about the Mindgates. So it's an incredible network of energy points and connecting channels that actually determines how you express yourself in the world and the quality of your life experience in general. So the quality of your life is determined by how much your Mindgate network is healthy and operational. And the reason why I call them the mind gates is because this is what they actually are. They are like the USB ports of your mind through which it sends and receives information. So it exchanges information with the outer world, and at the same time, it allows you to send your influence out to the outer world as well. And the thing is, anytime anything happens to any of the mind gates, your mind cuts off your access to the experience that is associated with that mind gate. Please do remember that. It's really important, and I'm going to explain more about what it means as we go. So essentially, this is like your fast track to self-development. If you understand the mind gates, you get straight to the point and you know what you want to achieve, you know how to achieve it, hence the blueprint, and you can be confident that you succeed. Because some other strategies, and I call them strategies in inverted commas because I don't think most people do it on purpose. So you can see how you might succeed doing other things, possibly, but it's going to take you years. And I mean years of effort, thousands of pounds or dollars in fees, and lots of frustration because you never know where you're going and whether you are actually going to achieve anything. And you might have seen people in self-development who have been there for years, let's say 5, 10, 15 years, and they're still in the exact same place where they were. Well, maybe they know a few more tricks and techniques to show off, but really deep down, they are the same person. So they hasn't been any true profound transformation in them. And so you can see that the Mindgate blueprint not only allows you to achieve your goal, but also gives you the confidence that what you're doing makes sense and what you're doing works. And with the other one, you never know what's going to happen. You may succeed, you may not succeed, you may waste your time and your money entirely and get nowhere, or actually even damage yourself, because this Mindgate system, although it's really powerful, it's really fragile at the same time. And so without the proper guidance, people often lose their track and they can even damage the system, and then they don't know how to repair it. And this is why I'm teaching these guys to you today, because if you are anything like me, you would probably want to take the fast track and become the spiritual VIPs. It definitely does feel good. So, as you can imagine, discovering something without a map through a wild terrain, which is the self-development area right now, can be an enormous and an overwhelming task. And this is why I want to save you all that effort, all the time, all that frustration, and give you the exact roadmap to success. And by the way, The Mindgates is not a new system. They've been known in ancient Egypt and Greece, and even the Indians were aware of them. And in the medieval Europe, they were called the planet cells, and then we had to reinvent them or reintroduce them from India, and this is why they usually refer to as the chakras, because that's a Sanskrit word for it. Now, the reason why I don't use that word, because unless you're a fluent Sanskrit speaker and it means something to you, it's better to use the terms that you can actually relate to and understand. So the mind gates, as I said, work as mind receiving and sending ports. And this is what they do. This is their function. So it's easy to understand and easy to remember. Let's start with the bottom one, which is the root. And it vibrates at the frequency that if you can develop your auric vision, you will see that frequency as red. So the root is, as the name indicates, the root of your existence, is the mind gate that allows you to fully connect with your body, with this world, and have the stamina, the energy, and the passion to move forward and to do something. You know how they say a healthy body and a healthy mind. So this is your mind influencing the health of your body and giving you the stamina to persevere. Also, the feeling of belonging, the feeling of being a full member of this community, of being born here for a reason and not being alienated. So it's a mind gate that allows you to really take on the world. It's your inner energy engine that actually there is a friend who said to me, oh, you know what, I'm like a Duracell bunny. I just keep going and going and going. So this mind gate, when fully open, allows you to be that Duracell bunny and just keep going and going. So you can achieve more. Let's say working for a full day, you're still able to meet your friends in the evening, to do and enjoy yourself, to hit the gym if you want to, and it allows you to take the most out of your life. And also it helps you to sleep like a baby. Babies obviously have a healthy root mind gate because they're just born, they haven't done anything to shut it down yet. And so you can see how much energy babies have and how they naturally find it very easy to fall asleep when they want to fall asleep, so they don't tend to suffer from insomnia, because this mind gate not working properly is actually what causes your circadian rhythm to be interrupted, and it causes insomnia. And when it open, when it's fully working as it's supposed to, you have this mindset and that feeling within you that you are a warrior on a mission, that you have the power, the energy, the vitality to make it happen, and you feel the natural desire to exercise. You want to be strong and you want to remain strong. You like waking up first thing in the morning and take on the world. So if it doesn't function properly, and you can see some people around, by the way, type yes in the comments if you've noticed that in yourself or other people you know who just can't fall asleep at night, and then they can't wake up in the morning and they feel groggy the full day and pretty much unable to do anything because they suffer from brain fog and just the lack of energy in general. Because this mind gate, when it's closed, you get tired really quickly, you get depleted very quickly, which means that you can't really be effective in your work because you just feel your battery goes flat after a couple of hours. And it also contributes to depression. Now, depression is an interesting one because it's not connected only to this mind gate, but dysfunctions in this mind gate are what contributes to developing of depression and actually suicidal thoughts, because when this mind gate is blocked, the person doesn't feel like they belong here or anywhere for that matter. So they feel unwanted, they feel like an outcast, and they feel like there is no purpose for them in being here. And so because of that feeling of alienation, and it can be really, really strong, their energy goes down even more. So it's like a vicious circle, and it can really destroy that person's life. So do make sure that you address this mind gate first and foremost, so you never get disconnected from your reality, from your life, and from your body. So the next one up is the mind gate called the sacral. And many people start smiling ironically when this mind gate comes up, because they're like, oh, the sex mind gate. Well, obviously, the sacral has a lot to do with sex, with healthy intimacy, with that physical union between the two people, and it has to do with pleasure in general. So this mind gate is all about experiencing pleasure and joy, and it doesn't need to be sexual. It can be a joy of meeting your friends and spending time together and having adventures, and it can be just a pure joy like kids have, because again, kids have usually all their mind gates fully functional, so they have this ability of pure, clear, undiluted joy. And the thing is, when you have this experience in your life becomes richer. And it can be joy, it can be meeting friends, it can be food, because food, especially good food, is also something that adds richness to your life experience. For example, I knew someone who could afford, well, pretty much anything he wanted, really. So he would go to amazing places. He would go to the best restaurants and have great food there. And I remember us sitting around and asking, so, how's the food? Isn't it amazing? It's just absolutely delicious. And that person would just look at his meal and say, well, it's all right. And we're like, how can you just say this? This is probably one of the best meals that we've had. And he was like, well, it's fine, I guess. Or we would go to somewhere, some incredibly beautiful place. And again, everyone is really enjoying it. And this one guy will be just, it's all right. And when I spoke to him, he said, I wish I could have this experience, but I just don't seem to be able to feel joy at all. No matter what happens, I acknowledge it, but I don't feel it inside. And I quietly envy people who can be truly passionate about something. He obviously didn't know about the mind gate system at the time. And so, as I said before, what happens is, even though you're perfectly capable of doing something, if this mind gate is blocked, your mind will cut off your access to that experience altogether. It will not allow you to have it. And it is really unfortunate. However, it is luckily reversible. So you can undo the damage and you can reconnect with the experience that you've lost. And so when you've lost your connection with the sacral mind gate, it creates very deeply felt loneliness, because you will not be able to fully and openly enjoy physical relationships with other people and intimacy. Even if that happens, you will feel like empty, like there is nothing there. And it's a really, really frustrating experience. So for example, you will know that this mind gate is closed if, say, you give a present to someone and you know it's something they really wanted. And you watch them opening the present, so you expect them to be so excited, and you're already kind of excited for them. You know what I mean? You're just watching them and you're waiting for that smile breaking on their face. But instead, they just smile politely and they just say, well, thank you, that's very thoughtful. and you think, oh gosh, did I get it wrong? Is that not what you wanted? And they say, no, it's all right. I really wanted it. It's great. But their voice is just so flat. And you say, well, are you not happy? And they're like, yeah, I'm happy. And you can see how they're genuinely trying to be happy, but somehow it doesn't work. So if that's the case, it means that something happened with their sacral mind gate and it's blocked. It's not their fault. They probably don't know how to reopen it. And so they're stuck in that circle where they can't experience joy from anything. And so when that happens to someone, they tend to go to the negative extreme of this mind gate, which is overindulgence, especially with food. People who lack joy in their everyday life want to feel some kind of happiness. Eating, we're naturally wired to feel it as very comforting. And so any disbalance in this mind gate affects our food. Some people stop eating altogether as a sign of self-punishment and they become really, really thin. But some people go to the opposite extreme and they start overeating, especially unhealthy junk food that ruins their health after a while, but they see it as the only way of getting some joy in the moment. Or sometimes people start using some substances to get what they crave. And again, that means ultimately the lack of a true connection to your body and the lack of the connection in that mind gate. And you, knowing this system, are now in a much more privileged position, because if anything happens, you will know how to break free and you will know how to undo and rectify the damage. So the next one up is the solar plexus. And this mind gate, the color is yellow, is sometimes referred to as the Tower of Sun or the City of Sun in the ancient texts, because it's your inner sunshine. It's your inner energy engine for true personal power, your willpower, your sense of purpose, and your sense of identity in this world. This mind gate allows you to understand what it is you really stand for. What is your life purpose? What is your life quest? What kind of difference you want to see in the world? And you become that difference that you want to see. So people who do a lot of public speaking and teaching have this mind gate fully open, and they thrive on sharing their gift with the world. They thrive on being aligned with their purpose. And I can tell you, I've been there, like I've been on the dark side and I've been on the light side, and the difference is enormous. This is what transforms your life completely. Once you open this mind gate, it's a completely different life. It's a life of your dreams, because once you get aligned with your purpose, the universe literally has your back. The universe helps you become the person you decided to be, and it creates those opportunities for you to fulfill your mission. And so if you see someone who is unable to express themselves or has a fear of public speaking, you will know that this mind gate is not working, because a person with an open solar plexus doesn't have a fear of public speaking. They have the love of public speaking because they see this opportunity and cherish that opportunity to share their gift and their knowledge and the light with someone. This is the mind gate of someone who wants to become the light that helps others see. And you don't necessarily need to become a public speaker for that. Everyone has their own path, but essentially this is the mind gate of leaders, of someone who is not shy to share the light and to share it unapologetically, to really give yourself to the world as you are, in your rawness, in your uniqueness, in what you are as a person. And this mind gate, if locked, creates a life that feels like a trap, like an endless trap with lots of tiny little tasks that keep piling up and piling up like multiple screens on your laptop, and you're drowning in them. And if you feel that you're literally lost in many details, and they all seem important or equally important without you realizing that they're not actually important, because discovering your purpose streamlines your life. You now have a clear road ahead and you follow it. Whereas when this mind gate is blocked, you are distracted from your purpose by just million of tiny little things and tiny little tasks, some small annoying circumstances that need solving all the time, and it just keeps going and going and going. And it's also true for people who don't know how to use their gift, or they're not courageous enough to express their gift to the world. And so what happens is they start one business and then another one and then another one and then another one. And sometimes I talk to someone and they're like, I run 5 businesses or 10 businesses. And when someone says that to you, you know that they're failing, because no person in existence can run successfully 5 or 10 businesses. You can own 10 businesses, yes, but you can't run them all at the same time. You need to focus. You only have so much energy during the day. And this mind gate, apart from focus, also gives you a strong willpower, the willpower to persevere on your path when things get hard or complicated. And when it's not functioning properly, you just feel overwhelmed with lots of tiny things coming your way. And all of them are distractions, but you can't see that. And so it creates a feeling of emptiness. It creates the feeling of desperation and frustration. And if you hear someone saying, oh, life is just pointless, or what's the point, you will know that this person has not connected with their solar plexus. And these are the actual keywords they often use when you say, hey, let's do that, let's change the world, let's achieve this, let's achieve that. And they just say, oh, what's the point? It's pointless. It's meaningless. The thing is, life is never meaningless. As human beings, as living beings, we are designed by nature to live on purpose. We need a purpose to thrive. Like plants need sunshine to grow. You know, if you cover grass and flowers with some thick clothes so no light comes in, and then you wash them, in a few weeks they will wither and probably die because they need sunshine. And so the feeling of purpose, the connection with your purpose, is your inner sunshine, and you need it to thrive and to live a meaningful life. And this is why it's so important. And without that inner light, without that purpose, life becomes really dark and really meaningless. And you nearly start feeling yourself like a little cog in a big mechanism that doesn't care about you. And you're surrounded by other little cogs, and it's just moving, but it's going nowhere. Is pointless. And so this is what really leads to depression. This is what the true cause of depression rates soaring in our civilization right now. For the first time in history, I don't know if you know this, but for the first time in the recorded history, the suicidal rates have overtaken the rates of other diseases like heart disease, which was traditionally #1 killer. And so right now, it's no more. It's suicide. Because as a society, collectively, we've lost our bearings. We've lost our sense of purpose. We don't know where we are going. Always before, you had some inspired leader that would show the way, someone who would say, this is what we're doing, and inspire other people to take action and show them the direction. It could be some famous king or some shogun or even a spiritual leader or a priest who would do that. And right now, we actually lack those people. We lack the inspired leaders, people who are in the leadership position, who use this mind gate to become leaders, are usually there for the wrong reasons. And because of that, they fail to serve as an inspiration for the rest of the people. And so as a society, we feel lost and directionless. And this is why people become suicidal. We need to live on purpose. And because there is no global purpose given to you externally, you need to find it within yourself. You need to ignite that light within yourself. And this is why learning about the mind gates right now is much more important and vital for your survival as a person than any time before, because this is what sets you apart. This is what takes you out from the pool of average, mediocre life to true greatness and to making your mark on the world. So make sure that you understand this. If you're feeling depressed, it means there is something wrong with your energy flow. And yes, your body will obviously respond to that and it will mirror that in time. But the first impulse that causes that is the energy disbalance in the mind gates. The next one is the heart. This is the favorite mind gate of all healers, because the frequency it resonates on creates not just the feeling of physical love, but also a very healing experience, both for your mind and for your body. This mind gate, as you can see, is in the middle. And so it balances the lower mind gates and the upper mind gates, and it creates a perfect harmony. So it creates a perfect harmony with not just your inner world, but also with your outer world. And this is the mind gate that allows you to find your true love, to find your ideal partner and create this loving, fulfilling relationship from both sides. This mind gate is all about healing and giving. And it's not just the love to your partner, it can be a universal love to all living beings. This is what the Buddhists call metta, loving kindness, that you extend to all living beings in the world, whatever and whoever they are, because you feel yourself as part of this universe, as part of the entire existence. And so you want to contribute with your light to the lives of other people. And when this mind gate is fully open, you are really in love with the world, with your life, and other people are in love with you. Because as you know, what you send out, you receive back. And if you send out love, you receive it back tenfold and thousandfold. And it's actually, apart from this high spiritual value, it has a very practical value as well. One of my students told me this story. He was at the airport, and so something happened where they couldn't find his papers and they wouldn't let him through. And at that point, he was nearly running late for his flight. And so you can imagine it's a really, really stressful situation to be stuck at the airport like that. And they just look through those papers and like, oh no, this is missing. This is not right. You should have filled this that way. Luckily, he's been through my training, and what he did, he focused on his heart mind gate and sent a very strong beam of energy towards those people he was talking to. And guess what? Out of the blue, what happened seemed like a miracle, because suddenly those people wanted to help him. They were suddenly really, really friendly, and they did everything they could to let him through as quickly as possible. And so he caught his flight, and it was great. But the fact that their behavior changed on the spot like that was just, he said to me, I couldn't believe that. I just could not believe how it worked, but it did. So the reason why that happens is because naturally we are wired to return the kindness that we receive. If we receive something from someone, we feel that we want to do something in return. And if someone sends that green energy to us and it gets absorbed by our system, what happens is we naturally feel inclined to do something to repay for that. And this is why people will respond to you very, very differently if you send that green energy towards them before speaking. And so when this mind gate is blocked, it creates a feeling of loneliness but this time it's more on the spiritual level, because you feel that you want to find love, but you just can't. And even if you do find someone, even if you do get in a relationship with someone, you're just not able to feel anything. And thing is, when something like that happens, let's say someone is in a relationship with a person whose heart gate is blocked, and no matter how much love they give to that person, and no matter what they do, that person cannot feel that love because they're not able to receive. Their receiver is broken. And because of that, it creates in their mind that feeling of, oh, that person probably doesn't really love me. They're with me for some other wrong reasons. They say they love me, but I can sense that they don't. Even though it's not true. It's not true. It's completely unfair to that other person. But this is how that person with their blocked mind gate feels. And obviously, if they feel like that, they will inevitably express it in the relationship, and they will suspect that that other person is cheating on them, which may not be true. They may be completely loyal, but it's the feeling, the idea, the belief that gets created in their mind. And so obviously, if they feel that they're not loved, that they're being cheated on, they will behave accordingly. And if they do that, that relationship is probably not going to last. And so having terminated that relationship, let's say that person goes to another one, and then what happens? The pattern repeats itself. So the exact same things happen again. They go, they think they love someone, but they don't feel any love in return, so they split up. And from that partner's perspective as well, what happens is, no matter how they love someone, they also feel that they're not loved back, because we are naturally tuned to send and receive energy, and your mind keeps registering it all the time. So your mind is like a constant radio, sending and receiving signals, and it's tuned to do that. And every time it doesn't receive a signal back, it alerts you about it. And so if you don't receive the green energy back after you've sent some, the mind decodes it and interprets it as, oh, that person doesn't really like me. Because what normally happens is that every time someone gets upset with you, or angry, or just plain doesn't like you, they automatically shut this heart gate as soon as you approach. And because we all know that on the subconscious level, as soon as we talk to someone and their mind gate, the green mind gate is shut, you know that something is wrong. Even if they don't want to admit it in words, and you say, hey, what's wrong? And they're like, no, it's fine, all's good. But you know it's not good, because the green frequency is missing from the range they're emitting. And so knowing this now gives you an incredible power to transform your relationships and to become someone more. Because another thing that you do with this energy is what allows you to create a truly magnetic presence. The more of that energy you have in your energy field, in your personal aura, the more people are drawn to you, and the more they enjoy your company, and the more they want to be around and appreciate you being there. So make sure that this mind gate is fully open if you want to live a truly fulfilled and loving and happy life. Now, we don't have enough time to go through all of them because, well, time constraints, but I want to mention briefly the top ones because they're very interesting. So the top mind gates have less to do with the ordinary human experience, and they have more to do with the extraordinary, with what people refer to as superpowers. And mind you, they're not superpowers per se, because we were naturally designed to have them. So we were designed as a unit that functions both in the physical world and in the spiritual world equally. And it's not one over another. It's not like, oh, my left hand is better than my right, or my right hand is better than my left. They are both important and they both serve their purpose. So these higher mind gates should be used, but most people never use them. So many people live their entire life not ever tapping into the full potential of these mind gates, which is a great shame. But people who do become great leaders, they become a true force for change in the world. So let's just mention it briefly. So the throat gives you the ability to speak your truth and to express your truth in the world, to stand up for yourself. But more than that, it gives you the control over the elements. I know that sounds like something from the last Airbender, but it's true. And it gives you enormous powers of influence. And I mean enormous. There is a phenomenon called the magician's voice. And so this is the mind gate that allows you to develop it. Now, the third eye allows you to have a true insight, and not just the intellectual insight into things, although working with this mind gate actually increases your intellectual capacities of memory, understanding, analyzing information. And I've seen that over and over. So people who start working with this mind gate end up being perceived as more intellectually developed than they were to begin with. And this transformation takes only a few months. So it's really, really noticeable. Now, this mind gate allows you to truly see, and not just see with your eyes, although it does affect your eyesight. It allows you to see into the spiritual world. It allows you to see the energies and the auras, to see into the future, clairvoyance, into the past, allows you to do energy scanning so you can perceive places that you are not in physically. And it's been done and used by FBI and other secret forces. So it's completely real. There are trainings, and part of what I do includes this training for special elite spiritual forces. So you become able to see things for what they really are. And I must tell you, this ability is life-saving, full stop. It is life-saving, because if you know who you're truly dealing with on a purely human level, let's say you're not going to invest your money with a person who is not right or who is not what he says he is. But on a spiritual level, you're not going to train with a teacher who is going to lead you astray, or who is not a teacher at all but wants to use you for his or her own purposes. You know, there are people out there who position themselves as spiritual teachers who shouldn't really be there. And I mean that they are there for the massively wrong purposes, and they lead so many people astray and taking their money in the process. So seeing those people for who they really are will save you more trouble than I can possibly explain. And it can help you not only save your own life, but also those around you, those people who matter to you. And then the crown is the ultimate embodiment of existence. Essentially, it's you, but transformed to a level like you've never imagined before. It's like, imagine you becoming an archangel or a superhero version of yourself. It's a bit like that. This is how it feels, because it unites you with the source of your true power. It unites you with the absolute, with that light within and without, and allows you to transform your body, to bend reality, and to do all sorts of fantastic things. So this mind gate, for example, is fully open with people who we perceive as saints and who perform miracles. So this is what allows you to perform miracles. This mind gate is a key to that. And reaching that level, you are beyond everyone else, because you can see the existence for what it really is, and you literally embody the power of light in this world. It's absolutely, absolutely incredible. So let's go through all of them again so you remember it well. The root is our survival and belonging. The sacral is all about healthy intimacy, joy, life fulfillment, all kinds of happiness and enjoyment and creativity. So if you have this sacral gate fully open, you are creative, you are loving your life, and you are enjoying it to the fullest. And the solar plexus allows you to connect with your purpose, allows you to understand what you stand for as a person, what is your mission here in this world, and shows you the ways of following that mission and to succeed. The heart allows you to feel the universal love, to connect with other people effortlessly, and to heal yourself and others just by the virtue of your presence. The throat allows you to become a true power and influence in the world, to share your truth with others, to go and become the change you want to see in the world. Third eye gives you the power of insight and intellect, the ability to see things for what they really are, the ability to see the past and the future, and to interact with the energy realms. And the crown allows you to become the fullest expression of yourself and to really embody the power that has been given to you by the source. So why I said that it's more important to do it now than any other time in human history is because time is changing, and it's changing really, really rapidly. It's literally like this in this video. When you know that everything is just chaotic, it just runs and runs, you need to do something to stop it. So this is your matrix moment. It's time to wake up. Wake up, Neo. You're the chosen one. You have to make this decision to embody that mission you've been trusted with, to become that chosen one in your own life and to transform it. And this is why it's so important that you learn how to operate your mind, because your mind dictates your reality. And not just for you, but for other people who you come in contact with, because it creates a ripple effect. And so I want to share with you words from people just like you who went through my training and what it did for them. And it's always very, very humbling to hear that, because it's incredible to see people's lives transform. And so Nikolai, for example, says, you were right in saying that this training would change our lives, especially if we continue with the practice. One day, when I'm on my deathbed, looking back at the moments that have influenced my life the most, this training would definitely be one of them. So it's an incredible feedback to receive. And it says, Jay's practical, realistic knowledge of mind mastery is simply otherworldly, and her outstanding books, which have profoundly changed my life. And if you want to seriously improve every possible aspect of your life and break through all the human limitations, go to all of her seminars now. He's right. What I want to emphasize is that what I teach really does work. You know how sometimes people say, oh yeah, this training will change your life. And then you go and nothing really changes. No, this training will change your life. So you have to be ready for it. And I have a video from a guy called Sebastian. Let's listen.
Hi, my name is Sebastian, and I just want to share how thankful I am for having taken Jay's training. Ever since I've started training with Jay, my life has changed dramatically in so many ways. So I have changed the way in which I see myself. I have changed the way in which I see reality and the way I relate to others. And I would say that the single most effective thing that has improved on my journey has been the knowledge and the insight to get to know my purpose and my mission in life. So if you're looking for a similar training that's going to massively blow your mind and change pretty much every aspect of your life, I sincerely recommend you to take this training.
Thank you, Sebastian. And by the way, he's not the only one. I also have some words from a guy you may know.
I want to tell you how fantastic Jay is as a teacher. In fact, I really can't fit in how awesome she is into one simple video. But I want to tell you that if you're not sure where you're going in life, if you want to know how to navigate the spiritual world, the real world, or anything in between with the mind or meditation, Jay is the person to speak to. She understands how reality works on a level beyond any teacher I've ever met. And I'm a teacher myself. She's the person I learned from. Go see her, go with her. She's incredible.
Thank you, Marcus. Some of you, I'm sure, will know this guy because he is a teacher himself. So it's great to hear that he benefited from this training so much. He's one of a very long-term students of mine. And there is another one from Jazib who says that the course was incredible and words cannot honestly describe how I feel. And he actually admits that he felt a bit overwhelmed, but also excited and empowered at the same time, because this course is going to challenge your paradigm in many ways, perhaps, and it's going to shake up certain beliefs that you had about the world and yourself, because this is how true transformation works. If there is no challenge, nothing changes. So obviously you can be a bit overwhelmed and feel a bit surreal, but in a really good way. And even Neo himself, I mean Stuart, also agrees that he's been looking for the right guidance for many years and nobody's come close to the help he received from me. So I bet at this point you just start wondering how come all these guys look like they've just run away from a fashion show, why all of them look like models, and like, do you not work with normal people? Well, I do work with normal people, and I want to show you something. My training has a very interesting side effect to it. So this is the guy you saw before, Sebastian. That's before and after. And this is Marcus and some other people I worked with. And you can see what happens. The difference is roughly 1 year between these photos, some of them a bit more, but it's roughly a year time that allows you to see a real difference and a real transformation. And you can see what happens, because once you connect with your purpose, once you start living your truth, you transform from the inside and everything changes. And you can notice that although they're all different people and they look differently, there is something that unites them all. If you look into their eyes, you will see that true embodied inner confidence, that silent power that they radiate. And this is what happens thanks to a training like this. So let's talk about you now. Let's talk about your call to adventure and what you can do to transform your life as well. So this is what I have for you today. I offer you a class in Mindgates Blueprint, which for the first ever time you can access online, and tend to be a bit of old school. And so before, you had to fly to London or wherever I was, physically be there and meet me in person and learn from me in person. But now you can still meet me in person, but you can be wherever you are in the world. So it's much, much easier. And this is why I wanted to offer you this training for the first time in this format. And it's 8 weekly classes, and additionally 6 group calls where you can ask your questions and share your progress and talk to other students as well. So we all grow together and we share our experience, we support each other. I will also include in this course Spiritual Ninja Skills, which is technically a separate seminar, but I want to teach you that because it's really, really important. It's like special combat skills for spirit warriors. It allows you to be much safer, much more confident, and much more effective in everyday life, because it allows you to repel other people's negative influence, for example. So remember when we spoke about the heart mind gate, and I said that sending that energy attracts people to you, it can also attract negative people. And so to stop that, to stop being swayed by other people's emotions, you have to learn to close this mind gate, and not to shut it down permanently, but close it when those people are next to you. And by the way, you can use this straight away, so you can start doing it, and people will be less inclined to bother you if you close your heart mind gate down when they're around. So the next thing is powerful techniques and meditations, specially crafted for this course. And I emphasize the word powerful. They are very, very effective, and this is why I don't share them in the public domain. You can't find them anywhere. They must not be done without a supervision. It is really important that you have a teacher, someone who helps you and makes sure that you do everything correct, especially to begin with. Many courses that are out there and they say, oh yeah, we teach this knowledge, are not effective because they don't include things that are truly powerful, because you need the right teacher for that. And also something for you, if you don't like sitting meditation much, and I absolutely love it. I just love it. It's very quick and easy to do, but it's essentially a meditation and a physical workout joined together. This little known Tibetan exercise routine allows you to make your body and your mind stronger, and it actually allows you to slow down aging at the same time. How incredible is that? And the best thing, it works. Another good thing is group support on Facebook and Telegram. And here you may be thinking, oh yeah, group support on Facebook, yeah, sure, everyone offers that. But hear me out, this is different. So my group is like a private members group. I teach things there, and I share things, I share videos and content that I don't share anywhere else. So you can't find it on my YouTube channel or elsewhere. This is exclusive for the members of my community. And so because of how much value I provide there, and I'm there personally as well as my senior students, and you can ask your questions and you can get an answer. And because of how much value I provide there, I'm actually thinking of making this group pay. It's free for now, so do take this opportunity to join. Even if you choose not to enroll in the program itself, do join the group while it's free, because you are going to learn a lot just from being there. And another thing I wanted to add is an ancient mantra that not only strengthens your mind, but it helps you bend reality. And it's the strangest thing ever, because it's a mantra that originally is designed to purify your mind, and to make it stronger. But for some reason, it works as almost like a genie that helps you make things come your way. And nobody knows why is that. It's not supposed to be like that, but it does work. And I thought I would include it for you in this course. And so another important thing that I want to emphasize is that the 8 classes and the group calls are going to be run by me. Because, you know, sometimes you sign up to a program and you think, oh, I'm going to learn, you know, from the master, from the head teacher. And then you just end up working with some trainers who run the course for them. And I mean, those people may be good, but I always feel it a bit like cheating, because it's not really what you signed up for. You signed up to be with that person that you trust. And so I'm going to be there personally, live for you every time. And by the way, if you can't attend the call, it's fine, because all of them are going to be recorded, and you're going to send me your questions beforehand, and I'm going to answer them on the call, even if you're not there, so you will still get your answer. Use my knowledge. I mean, I'm with the good guys though. This is going to be great. It's going to be epic, and it's going to be mind-blowing in the best possible way. So join the tribe and awaken your destiny.